Hi everyone, my name is Heather and this is not just another number. For those of you who have maybe not watched one of my videos yet, my channel was created after my husband Gabriel took his life due to a toxic workplace. And since this is Mental Health Awareness Month, I really wanted to kind of touch base on some of the suicide misconceptions and let you guys know if you are dealing with suicide, someone close to you, just some things that might be helpful to you, even though like I'm still going through it. If you would have asked me last year if at this time if I would be making this video as a firsthand account of someone who tragically lost someone this way, I would have told you you were crazy. But unfortunately, life has a way of showing us that we are not in control. So I'll go into some of the misconceptions about suicide. So last year on the 4th of July weekend, my husband and I, we took a beautiful trip to the Texas Hill Country. We took our little puppies and we took them shopping and all around, and some of our good friends met us there from San Antonio, and we spent the weekend and it was beautiful. We had a wonderful time. We went back home and we went back to the jobs that we had on Tuesday. We also, my husband and I, had our own business, and he was getting prepared. He was a DJ that was going to be doing a couple of weddings. So he was super excited about the weddings, and he was talking with the brides that week, getting everything ready, and there was a couple of them coming up. So he was staying pretty busy once we got home at night from the other place that we were. And so then that was on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, there was a situation at the place that we were that there were lies being told about my husband, and they were hurtful lies. Somebody started a rumor that he had been arrested for something really ugly, and he was sitting right next to me on the couch while I'm getting text messages that he'd been arrested, or it's just ridiculous. So that escalated until rumors were being spread about him from Wednesday to Friday. Nobody cared to stop the rumors. It was just commonplace at the place that we were for hurtful things to go around about people. Unfortunately, there was nobody stopping any of that from escalating unnecessarily. So on Friday, my husband took his life. If you were somebody that had ever met my husband, you would have thought that it wasn't like, no, like that's not possible. Not Gabriel. Gabriel was the life of everything. He was made everybody laugh. He was so funny and so silly, and he was just a great person to be around. He was always the most caring person and always making everybody feel comfortable, always the first one to jump up to help somebody. He wasn't the type of person that was sad or depressed. Unfortunately, my husband had been a victim of sexual abuse from the age of 7 from someone who should have been looking out for him. But unfortunately, that was what had happened. And so when these rumors were going around, they stirred up trauma that my husband had, and people just carelessly start rumors and throw things around and don't think about how they are going to hurt other people. So quickly this situation escalated, and so quickly this thing, just ugly words and ugly rumors and lies, just flat out lies, just became a big thing. And it made my husband think that his last words to me were, what if they believe the rumors? What if they think that I am that type of person? And to him, that type of person was the type of person that he had strived his whole life not to be. It was the type of person that the person that victimized him as a child was. And it was the type of person that my husband would never be. But those rumors took him to that place. So this is like, I want to remind everybody that you don't know what people are going through, and you know, people say that, but you really don't. And you really don't know what can trigger someone else. And do you really want to be that person that is so hurtful to others that do you really want to be the person that causes somebody to shoot themselves? Like, is that what you're striving for? Because if you're not, just handle everyone with utmost respect and dignity. That's just what everybody deserves. One of the misconceptions about suicide is that, you know, you're going to see somebody's always depressed and, you know, yeah, I saw it coming. But I will tell you, I was there. I was with my husband. I told him that we could quit this job that we had that was horrible. My last conversation with him was, I don't care what we have to leave to get away from this job because it is not good for us. And mentally, it is not good to be in an environment like that. And I just never thought my husband would never have done something to hurt me, but he didn't realize what he was doing because he was broken. So one of the misconceptions is that people are going to show you that they're hurt, or they're going to show you that something's wrong, but a lot of times that's not the case. I've talked to so many people now whose family members have taken their lives and they did not see it coming. And that's sad, and that shows even more how we need to be respectful of one another, because you don't know what's going on inside of somebody's mind. You do not know. In fact, I don't even think my husband had a chance to think about what he was doing. He was so hurt. Another thing that I've found that's really hard with dealing with the aftermath of suicide are people say things like, oh, well, your family looked so happy. And I saw your pictures and you looked happy. Well, we were happy. And that was my best friend in the whole world. I loved my husband. Like, I adored my husband. I could walk into Walmart and have a blast with my husband. He was so much fun. But does that mean that every aspect of your life is fun? No, that's just not the way it works. My husband and I, we had a really cute house. We loved our house. We had our babies, our little furry children, Poppy and Everly, that we loved and adored. And we got to travel with our friends and we got to do fun things. And we had our side businesses that we love. Like, that was our thing and our passion. But we had a workplace that wasn't healthy. And so most people don't have every single thing as a perfect thing. There's usually something. If you have a great job, maybe your child is giving you problems. Gabriel and I had amazing family. We had amazing friends. We had such I still have, but we had together such an amazing support system. Thank God, because that's what's gotten me through this and helped me to try to cope every day since then, because we had wonderful friends and family. And so there's so many people that try to discount things that, oh, well, you seemed happy, but you must not have been, because this person did this, but that's not really how it works. We just need to remember that depression and mental stress can come to everyone, and it can be an issue with anyone. You just don't know. You don't know. So many people that we've seen, on people we watch on television, people we see that are happy, and just because they take their lives, it doesn't discount the times that they have with their family. It doesn't mean that the pictures that they posted were fake. It doesn't mean that all of the things that they didn't matter. Like, oh, it's just, it's that's not who they really were. Well, it was who they really were. It was who they really were before something caused them to take their life. It doesn't mean that your whole life and all of your memories are fake. It doesn't mean that. And that's really hurtful, I feel like, for family members and friends of people when those type of things are said about a person, because it takes away who that person was. And we don't need to do that, because families and friends of these individuals have lost enough and they don't need to lose more. Who is the most acceptable to suicide? People who have had depression and anxiety, people that have PTSD, people who have substance abuse issues, people who are under prolonged amounts of stress, someone who is going through a severe life change, such as divorce or losing a job or the death of a loved one or suicide of someone close to them. Childhood abuse is a huge risk factor, which is something that my husband, like I said, was something that he had to deal with. And then people who have easy access to lethal means are also at a higher risk. What can we do to try to prevent this from happening to our loved ones? We need to promote a healthy environment. Workplaces, instead of just hashtagging Mental Health Awareness Month, let's do some meaningful things. Let's make sure that we value our employees and treat people with dignity and respect at all times. We need to start having suicide and mental health awareness meetings in the workforce. We need to create a sense of belonging and dismiss those who take that away. That needs to be something that is very important in the workplace. If people are creating a culture that others do not feel comfortable, that's a big red flag that companies need to do something different. We need to seek to understand one another and have empathy for those that are going through something. You are dealing with the loss of someone through suicide, and you're going to have a lot of days where you feel like you didn't do enough. You're going to kick yourself trying to you're going to relive every second of every day. You're going to relive days from years ago. Like, was there ever a sign? Was there something that I missed? Was there something that I didn't see? Should I have seen something? What could I have done differently? What could have happened that I could have changed? But unfortunately, a lot of times there whatever happened had nothing to do with you. My husband took his life despite our relationship. It was not because of something I did. It was despite all the things that we had. And he was broken to the point that he lost track of all of that. And I will never blame him for that, because he in that moment, he was sick and he didn't realize what he was doing. But if you are in the aftermath, you will have those moments where you second guess yourself. And please don't do that, because it's not healthy for you. And please don't let anyone make you second guess anything that you did. You make the decisions that you need to make to be better. If you need to move, you move. I've had people telling me, "Oh, can you believe Heather sold her house and moved?" Well, yes, because I couldn't live in a place with that memory. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be well. I couldn't live waiting for my husband to walk back in the house every day when he wasn't coming back in the house. I couldn't survive like that. And he would want me to survive, because he would want me to be doing exactly what I'm doing right now, to try to help other people. So if you need to make decisions, I pray to God that you're watching this and you've never gone through this, but if you are and you have, don't let anyone make you second guess any choice that you are having to make, whether that be if you have to move, if you have to cut people out of your life because you realize people that cause this are people that aren't good for you. Cut them out. Cut them out. Your mental health is more important. Anything you need to do to be well, you take care of yourself, because your loved one would want you to do that. If you or someone that you know is dealing with this, I'm going to link below a couple of important things that my therapist had given me for this because we had this conversation that I was going to do this video. And one of them is the Columbia Suicide Risk Assessment. The other one is Brown University Stanley Safety Plan. And those are some that's some information where you can take a look at, and it's a risk assessment for those who may be feeling suicidal. And so that's just kind of a guidepost there that you can use to see if you're feeling not great. Just do that and see if maybe you might need to call a therapist, or even dial 988 for the suicide hotline. Or if you need someone to talk to, please reach out for help. I talked to my therapist on Talkspace. This is not sponsored, but I think it's a great resource. You can talk to them via your phone, and it's very simple. There are some great filters on there that get you matched up with the therapist that is going to be the best for you. And in my case, I know it worked amazingly well. I love my therapist. She is so helpful to me through all of this. And I'm sure there's somebody on there for you. And if that doesn't work for you, call your insurance company and they can match you up with someone as well in person if that works better. If you are dealing with a workplace that is making you feel mentally ill, please, please, please start looking for another job. Plain and simple. They are not going to change, but you may change and you may take your life. So please do not take it lightly. I hope that through my story with my husband, that anyone else that's out there, that maybe you don't feel alone, because you're not. And your life is worth living. There's always, always other options out there. Just don't lose sight of that. That's the worst thing that can happen, is for you to lose sight of how important that you are to someone else. And it's so important to remember that. So I will end there, but please, as part of Mental Health Awareness Month, and please don't make that just 1 month. Like, it is Mental Health Awareness Month, but please take care of your mental health every day of the year. Set boundaries, do things that make you happy, be around people that you care about. And I will go on that note. If you have not yet subscribed to Not Just Another Number, please do so, so I can keep growing this channel to try to bring awareness to toxic workplace culture and suicide awareness. Comment below if there are any topics that you would like me to address on here, and I would love to do that for you. Stay safe, everyone, and I will talk with you soon.